One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Good afternoon. So it's officially afternoon. It's 12:07. And I wanted to talk today about something, again, that I've come to realize. Like it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Something that men have been saying for a while now. And I didn't want to believe them. But now, because of the critical thinking that I've done, and because of the time that has gone by, it's become clear to me that they were onto something. And even when I think about evolutionary psychology and I think about female nature, it now all makes sense. So it took me some time to get here, but here I am. I have put all the pieces together, and I finally realize that when men say, and ladies, I want you to weigh in on this. When men say that 80% of the women only date 20% of the men, they are correct. That is a true statement. How do we know that that's true? How do we know that when I say 50% of the male population is completely invisible to most women? You don't even see half of the men. So let's take all the men in the world. Let's get rid of half of them because they're invisible to you. You don't see those men. Okay? But again, after having really thought about this, did the math, did the long algebra, showed my work, I realized that it is true. Here's the proof. Here's how we know that it is true. So you all have heard of the T-app, and I was going to create a reel about this. I'm still going to create a reel about this epiphany that I had. That's coming. That reel is coming. But you've heard of the T-app, right? And all of the nonsense that has just exploded this year with the T-app. This app that was actually created by men to help women, right? To help women vet better and stay safer when dating. That's the selling point, right? So it's actually supposed to help women and to stay safe, and it has the option to background check, and then of course other women are rating these men in their city. Other women are talking about their experience with these men. So then I got to thinking, okay, so if what men have been saying all along, about 80%, most of the women are dating a tiny percent of the men, right? And women have pushed back against that. But if that's not a true statement, why does one man on the T-app have at least 20 different women giving their opinion about him, giving their rating about him, telling people how horrible he is, what a jerk he is? Oh, girl, he ghosted me and he did this and that. Okay, it's all starting to make sense. And then this is what really clicked in my mind, right? So I picked up my daughter from school yesterday, and she admitted to me that the young man on the football team that she had been dating, and they got into a big thing. The police were called. It was just a big thing, right? And she found out that apparently he was encouraged by other people who knew this other guy that she dated. Oh, try to reel her in, try to date her, and, get some dirt on her. That's what it was a whole ruse, right? It was a whole hoax, unbeknownst to her. And so this young man plays on the football team, and he understood the assignment, and so he kind of reeled her in, and then she figured out, wait a minute, there's something going on here. Like, I'm being played. And so once that happened, and here I come, kind of showing up and bringing her home so she can get away from this situation. And I'm like, look, you need to leave this dude alone. You need to leave him alone and everybody he know alone. You need to block him on all the socials. You need to block him out of your phone and chalk it up. Take the L and just chalk it up to young and dumb. So I go to pick her up yesterday. That was about a month ago. I go to pick her up yesterday, and come to find out, she didn't take my wise, sage advice. And she gets into it again with this guy. She goes over there. Come to find out, the girl who lives below her is now talking to him. So, this is someone she dated. The young lady who lives below her now, he's taken an interest in her. Then all the ladies start getting together and find out a couple of her friends have all dated this guy. All of them. And so it has officially, in my mind, been proven that this is true. Whether you all want to admit it or not, this is happening, because the T-app is in fact proof of this fact. That most women are dating a small percentage of men. So most women who are out here getting pregnant by the same guy over and over and over, because think about the numbers. How do you explain the fact that there are statistically more single mothers than there are single fathers? So if each of those single mothers had a baby by a totally different man, right? Wouldn't those numbers be the same? Wouldn't the numbers for single mothers be the same as single fathers? It's not. Because one man is running around with 6 different women, and he's making 6 single mothers. One man. So one man has made 6 women single mothers. Hold on, my cat is in here. Oh no, it's my daughter. Okay? So it's true, ladies. It is true. And here's the lesson that you need to learn is stop dating the same guy. All of you are dating the same man. And here's why that is. There's actually a reason for that. It is given to us by evolutionary psychology, good old evolutionary psychology. And guess what it says? That men who are attracted to women, right? And the men that women find attractive, right? When a woman finds a man attractive and more women find that man attractive, he's going to attract even more women. Because women assume that, oh, well, if he's with this one and that one and this one, I should be with him too. He must be attractive. He must be fill in the blank. That's called social proof. That is why we do that. That's why we go after people who are already in relationships. Because we have social proof that that person was able to attract someone. That person is found attractive by multiple people. And because of the nature of a woman to compete for the attention of a man, she will now put herself into this category of his options. So she becomes one of many of his options. And what do I tell you, ladies? What do I tell you over and over again? Stop being a man's option. Deep down, this is psychological, right? So you have to bring this to your conscious awareness. This is what I have done over the years. Now that I'm consciously aware that that's my nature, that if I see a man and he's surrounded by women, that makes him more attractive, not less attractive. See, now that I know that, I purposely avoid those men. My logical mind kicks in and says, oh, I know your nature is pulling you to that person. because of the social proof. The social proof says all of these women find this man attractive. There must be something attractive about him. But now, because I'm emotionally mature, I can consciously say, no, thank you to that man. I will not be another one of his options. And that's what has to happen. We have to grow up. We have to bring all these things to our conscious awareness. And then we have to do something different. But there is a reason why the statistics are skewed like this. And it is because of what men have been saying forever, that only 10 or 20% of the men are dating 80% of the women. So those are the men you all want. You can't even see the other 80% of men. You can't see a good man. You have to learn to rewire your brain. Because yes, a lot of this is nature. It's how you're wired. But again, I believe you can bring it to your conscious awareness and you can just make a different choice. You can consciously say, nope, I see that man. I see he's dated a lot of women, or I see a lot of women around him, and I am on purpose not going to choose him. I am not going to make myself one of his many options. I had a question from Jagger4321. Could be he's just a good guy women like. It's not likely. Okay? Because there are men that women hang around that they like that are gay, that are nerds, that are, squares. Right? He does have to have a measure of masculinity. He has to have a measure of the things that women actually want, which is height, which is some sort of financial resources, which is prowess, confidence, charisma, right? He has to have those things. We're not going to do that with just any old guy. But I have seen that happen before. I have seen a man who was 5'5". He was mid at best. But because he had a lot of female friends and because he was confident, charismatic, yes, he attracted a lot of women to him. He attracted a lot of women to him, and women lined up to be his option. But we have to wise up. We have to stop putting everything on the men. We have to become grown adult women. The longer you stay in this princess phase of life and I'm a little girl and I want to, it's all the men. It's the poor, evil, awful men. The men are so awful. No, you have to grow up and become a grown woman and realize that you actually have all the power. I tell young women this all the time. You have all the power. You just give it away. You put it on a silver platter. Here you go. Okay. Are you gonna choose me? I mean, is it me or her? No. I can like you. I can find you attractive. I can try to get to know you. But the second that I am competing with some other woman, she's the winner. She's the winner. She can have you. The second that I feel like you don't like me, I don't like you. I don't like you anymore. This is what women have got to start thinking about. And I don't mean feeling, I mean thinking. Using your brain, using your logical, rational thought. And stop letting all your feelings override that. That's what's getting women into trouble. You're letting your feeling and your emotion about a person override common sense. But it's true. It's true what they're saying. I'm officially co-signing it. 80% of women are dating only 10 or 20% of men. Those same men are getting everyone pregnant. Because how do you explain the numbers? The numbers don't lie. That there are more single mothers than there are single fathers. And that's why. Because there's an entire percentage of men that don't have access to women like that. They don't have sexual access. Their DNA, their legacy will not go forward. But you sure enough have women who have multiple children by multiple men. You can't argue with logic. You cannot argue with data. Okay? My Epic Living says, I'm so happy I learned that early. Good. Many women mistakenly assume a man has a lot of options when sometimes that is not the case. He can just be a nice guy. Well, nice guys don't have real options, right? We're not talking about the nice guy. And if you know what I mean when I say the nice guy, if you have any familiarity with my platform, we're not talking about the nice guy. We're talking about men who are good, men who are kind, men who have standards, men who have backbone. They think with their head, they feel with their heart, they got balls, right? The 4 characteristics of masculinity. I talked about it yesterday. But you are 100% right when that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying only 20% of men truly have options. The other 80% don't. They don't. But women are attracted to only 20% of men. Those are the men that they're entertaining. And yet they have continued to push back about that. Oh, no, no, no. And I give men a chance. And no. You give the 20% a chance. And it's only when you get older, you're not married, you don't have children, and you want that, then you begin to start to look in that 80% pile. And the reason why that can be very treacherous is that a woman will settle for a man in that 80%. The bad news is it's probably not someone she truly respects. It's not someone she truly has sexual desire for. Like the relationship's going to start to go downhill. So that's what's so dangerous and treacherous about that. Women have got to, if I'm being honest, they have to rewire some of this nature that they have. They really do. They have to rewire some of it. And that's why I talk about it and I preach about it. You got to be aware of it so you can bring it to your consciousness so you can make a different decision. But a lot of women are making decisions about men from their subconscious nature. They don't even realize that they're doing it. And it's holding them back. It's getting them into trouble. It's just like, yesterday's video, Shorty Want a Thug, right? You think that danger and criminal behavior equals masculinity, and it doesn't. I talked at length about the Sigma male, who is the least assuming person out there. He is not an alpha. He's not rah-rah. He's not going to, chase you relentlessly, but he's a decent guy. He's a stand-up guy. And the Sigma male is the male that even the alpha respects. But y'all don't see him. You don't see him. You're looking for the alpha with all of the options and all of the women around him. And these men, I'm going to be honest with you. When men have a lot of options, they play all of them. They play all of them. It's rare that man is going to choose one and, this is my one. No, he play all those options. So when I see a line of women, I go the other way. My Epic Living, that video is over on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in watching it, all my videos live on my YouTube channel. But yes, I talked at length about this whole Shawty Want a Thug. And, I have this, the woman says she got a thug addiction that she's trying to get over. And now she's dating a square. And there's just so many things that she loved about the thug that, she want the square guy to do. And all this foolishness. Just a bunch of foolishness. And again, as much as y'all gonna hate to hear this, you're the reason for your demise. Until you wake up and you actually see what your subconscious programming is doing. Like, I had to do that. But thank God I did it in my 20s. I didn't do it in my 40s. I did it at 26. At 26 years old, I was like, wait a minute. Like, my subconscious programming is making me do things that's not benefiting me. Like, I'm going for the type of man, or I find myself attracted to a certain type of man, and it don't work out. Like, it's something going on inside of me. And when I started reading about female nature and hypergamy and evolutionary psychology, David Buss. I was like, okay, okay, right? And the type of men that women are attracted to when they're on their time of the month versus right before their time of the month versus right after their time of the month, the olfactory glands, the way a man smells. I mean, all these things that are running in the background that y'all are not even familiar with. But it's leading you toward a type of person, just like the butterfly effect. I keep telling y'all, the spark. Y'all keep focusing on the spark when the spark is simply saying that this person is familiar. There's something familiar about this person, and that might not be a good thing. This person could be familiar in a negative way. This person could be similar to a trauma that I've already experienced. And so my body, my nervous system is reacting to that. This person is just like another person who hurt me, who abandoned me, who abused me. And all that's happening is my body is recognizing that. So y'all think butterflies and the spark is a good thing. No, it's not. Slow and steady wins the race. Your nervous system should be cool, calm, and collected. You should not feel, oh my God, I'm just so nervous around him. Oh my, I just don't know what to say. That's not good. You should be in your right mind. You should choose love, not fall into it. Love is a conscious choice that you should be making when you have all the information. When you have all the knowledge, then you choose to love that person. And they should do the same. But y'all call it falling in love. Like, oh, and then y'all love to say things like, well, you can't help who you love. You can't help who I just fell in love. I can't help it. I can't. You sound like a 12-year-old. This is grown people talking like this. You sound like you 12 years old. And you an adult talking like this. My Epic Living says, but I'm glad you're speaking to this, Miss Anita. I want my younger sisters to hear it from someone other than me because it's exhausting. Let me tell you something though. They not listening to me either. I got my own daughter, 22. I'm like, the most expensive thing that you give to these men is your time and attention. Your time and attention. Because she's just like, well, why are they like this? Why do they put you through all this drama? Why do they cheat? Why do they lie? Because the currency that they are after is your time and attention. You turning your time and attention. Your female validation is like priceless. And the moment you strip that away from a man, the moment you don't give him the time of day, that you go on about your business, that you let his actions long-term consistently prove who he is, you stop letting men have your drawers, then you're going to see who the man really is. But they really don't get it. Her and her girlfriends are talking on the phone. Oh, why they like this? Because y'all put up with it. That's your standard. The bar is in hell. Because you keep running after these dudes. You keep messing with these dudes. You keep letting them talk you out your drawers. And they doing this with you and 6 other women. Like, women line up to be these men's options. And of course, this particular dude, he fits the mold. Football player at a good school, right? And dudes who are in fraternities. Dudes who have a certain amount of swag on campus. It's literally 10% of, I would even say less. Can I be honest? I would say 5%. I would say 5% of the men on my daughter's campus get play. 5%. And all the girls on campus want the 5%. 95% of women want 5% of men. And they wonder why the men's heads are blown up. They wonder why the men have all these options. They wonder why the men are doing them this way. Because y'all are lining up to be their option. Turn away. Stop giving them your attention. Let other women fall prey to their nonsense. And I've been telling women this forever. When I woke up at 26, I kept watching my girlfriends fall for the nonsense, right? They was falling. Anita was over here focusing on myself. I was buying a home, me and my roommate was moving into that home. We started doing some partying and hosting of parties and all this. He was a promoter. We were doing that together. At that time, I was doing some acting in Atlanta, just different stuff. We were just doing different stuff. Mine and all black business. And my girlfriends kept falling for the okie doke. And then look, I had men. So if anybody had options, it was me. At 26, that's who had options. It was me. Because I refused to play their game. The more women they had lined up, the less I was interested. I liked the unassuming dude. I liked the Sigma male. I liked the dude that was off somewhere minding his business. Like, that was the dude for me. Those were the dudes that I started giving a chance. And I got married. Met my husband at 30 and got married. Because I was like, y'all stay running after this 5% of men and getting pregnant by them. And then you find out you ain't the only baby mom. He got 3 more. And now you feel away. And then this is what is so mind altering. You keep competing. You keep competing with these other women for this man. This man don't care about none of y'all. Well, I'm the better baby mama. He like me more than he like her. What kind of stupidity is this? What are we doing with ourselves that we're doing this? Y'all, I have 3 children with my ex-husband. And when my ex-husband went on to marry his 3rd wife, and they went on to have a child, I was like, God bless you. I was like, God bless you. Just, put the check in the account every month. I could care less. I don't care if she had 10 kids by him. I could care less. I could care less. Some of y'all need this message, but you stay in this competitive mode with other ignorant women such as yourself. All of y'all competing for a no good dude. Nah, I definitely don't. Whoo, y'all, when I tell you, once I divorced and 5 years later, when my head was, somewhat together, that I could date again, like I said, I picked the most unassuming men. I picked the Sigma men because I was like, yeah, this guy does not have 1,000,001 options. I don't have to compete with all these women. This man is truly grateful that he's dating me. This man actually knows how to treat me well. There is no other women that I need to compete with for this man. like that's what smart women do. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. You have to go against your nature in order to do this. Because it is in my nature, right? It is in my feminine nature to want what other women want. It's in my feminine nature to want to compete with other women. But see, I just told myself I'm going to go against that. I'm actually going to use my logical, rational mind. I'm going to use my conscious awareness to consciously go against that. Okay? So I want y'all to learn how to do that too. But you have to really see it for what it is. You showing up at a man's place and him having all these options and all these women and women women that you friends with, nah, that's a complete total turn off. There's no part of me that wants that man at all. That's just downright nasty. So now we all sleeping with him. So if they got something, they giving it to him and he giving it to me nah, I'm good. I can't. That's just nasty to me. So I might as well have slept with all my girlfriends. Because we all just swimming around in a bunch of bodily fluids. I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. So, yeah, I learned at 26. That's when I woke up. And at 27 was when I officially said, okay, it's time to find a husband. And 3 years later, I met the man that would become my husband because I made a conscious decision. And it didn't come at 35. It didn't come at 45. It came at 27. And what I tell young women today is by 25. By 25, you need to be done with the BS. Okay? Whatever fun you was going to have needs to end at 25 years old. Whatever education you were going to get, you should be done at 25 years old. Okay? So if you ever see yourself being a wife, if you ever see yourself being a mother, By 25 years old, you need to start walking in that direction. Okay? If I am trying to go from Virginia to Miami, and I tell people Miami's my ultimate destination, I'm not going to walk north and then turn around at New York and go, you know what? I was trying to go to Miami. What was I thinking? Now I got twice as far to go. No, I'm going to head out for Miami, period. And stop letting people, men specifically, get you off of that journey. How cute he is, or how tall he is, or whatever mouth game he got. And, well, I mean, you know, I just get distracted. Don't get distracted. Anything that is not husband material should not get your time and attention. It shouldn't. It's a complete and utter waste of time. And at that point, you're wasting your own time. How many times have I told people this? Have I told women this? A lot of the stuff, and y'all gonna hate this, especially lately. I've been digging into y'all, and it just has to be done. It has to be done. We have to grow up. We have to emotionally mature. But 80% of women's problems are brought on by women. Namely, her, you, okay? You are the cause of 80% of your trouble. When are you going to wake up to that? When are you going to stop pointing fingers and stop calling out the, quote, the men? Well, the men are crazy. No, not 80% of them, 20% of them maybe. But 80% of them are actually about something, but you can't see them. The men are crazy. You've been done wrong by 3 men out of 4.5 billion men. And the men are crazy. Really? Because that hardly qualifies. That's not even enough for a clinical data set. That the 3 guys that you dated in a row that cheated and lied, that means the men are crazy. That's not what that means. But again, women get off on making this their identity. That's why they love that T-app so bad. That's y'all's whole identity. I've been done wrong, and this man cheated and lied, or this man, slept with my sister, and then this man did this. This man got me pregnant. Oh my God. That's y'all whole identity. That is y'all whole identity. What a man did to you. So wake up. We got to wake up. It's got to happen. Men have their own work to do. I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel. They have their own work to do. Right? I think that 20% of men that women want need to grow to 80%. And only they can do that. Only those men can become one of those 20% men. They can work on themselves. They can work on the way they look. They can work on being educated or having more resources. They can work on their social skills. There's lots of things that men can do to be more attractive to women. But y'all, when I start telling y'all that, oh, why you telling us? Why you telling men and blah, 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 blah. Okay, because I'm a woman? Because I actually know what most women find attractive? But see, y'all don't want to learn. You don't want to hear from me. You don't want real life experience. You don't even want clinical experience. You want to keep going down the wrong path and doing all the dumb things you're doing and not getting any results and then going online and complaining about it. All you have to do is listen to a wise, sage woman who has no skin in the game, because I keep telling young women this. I'm not your competition. When I'm talking to you, there is nothing but love and good intention in my heart. I'm not your competition. Don't no 25-year-old man want me. Don't no 35-year-old man want me. Heck, according to y'all, don't no 45, 55-year-old man want me. Okay. So I am not your competition. But I do have 57 years under my belt. I am grown. I am a grown adult woman. I am emotionally mature. I know how to use my logical, rational mind. I'm educated. Like, there are a lot of things that I could say that says, yeah, if you're 25, you might want to listen. I don't have a bitter bone in my body. My whole identity is not, what my husband did to me or what a man did to me. Because like I said, I know plenty of good men. I've been with plenty of good men. I was raised by good men. So, but y'all don't want to listen. And in some regards, I have people that say, why do you bother? Like, why do you bother? It's hopeless. I can never say that. It's just not in me to ever say that it's hopeless, that it's never going to get better, that people are never going to learn, they're never going to wake up. It's just not in my nature to do that. I am the eternal optimist. I believe as long as people are breathing, they can change and grow. I wouldn't be in the business I'm in if I felt that way. I will never have this fatalistic, nihilistic viewpoint. I'm going to keep going. And if I help one person, if I help 3 people, if I help 5 people to wake up and realize that they are on the wrong path, then it was worth it. It was worth it. But I hate to break it to you, ladies. The men are right on this one. I gotta give the men points for this one. Y'all are all dating the same men. The T-app proves it. This situation with my daughter and her girlfriends proves it. How do you go over there and you see all these girls that you know over there at the house all dating this one guy? Y'all all have a story about this one guy. Think about that. So if you were spreading around your interest to the men on campus, you wouldn't show up at his place and see all these women at his place. You might see one other woman. No. But everybody else done found another man. They done found someone else, some other young man on campus that's keeping a low profile, that don't have millions of options, and they would be with him and be happy. And he would be happy to have them. But that's exactly what happens. When you give a person a whole lot of options, they don't pick any of them. And they love to play. They love to play with their options. They love to, see what their options is about. But they're not going to choose any of them. So stop lining up to be a man's option. The moment I find out that a man has been married multiple times, he has multiple children's mothers, I'm not interested. That's not a lineage that I want to be a part of. So I'm good. Okay, if that man has been married 2, 3, 4 times, I'm not that good. Like I tell people, I tell him, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. You have a past, you have a pattern that dating me is not going to change. I am not that good, and I'm a bad one. I'm a bad one, and I'm not that good. Bruh, you going to keep doing what you've been doing. If you got 2, 3, 4 children's mothers, nah, I'm good. I don't even want to be a part of that story. Oh, I dated this one, and then I dated this one, and then I got this one pregnant, and then I married this one, and then I did this, and then I dated Anita, and then I did, no, I'm good. What's the likelihood of the women that do end up with the 20% of men being happy? I think it's very unlikely. And here's what the 20% of men tend to do. They settle with the woman who just happens to be there when they're ready. So these men are not even truly like choosing who they think is the best one. A lot of these men, they give the title to the woman that just happens to be around when they're ready. So she was just around. I mean, she was just here. Or they'll say things. They actually say this in therapy, y'all. Men say this in therapy like they really doing something. Well, she and I had been on and off for years. And, she just was always there. And, she just hung in there. And she put up with my mess. And, and in my mind, she earned it. She earned it because she was just always there. She was just, nah, baby, I'm good. I'm good. That's a trophy that I don't want. That's a medal that you can keep. That I don't want to win that contest. Now, how much BS can I tolerate contest? No, I'm good. I lost. I lost that one. But that's the truth. I've seen men say that out of their mouth. And my eyes just be like, and I look over at the woman and she looked just as proud. Like, yeah, I won. Okay, baby. You won. You the great big winner. Y'all got to wake up. You got to wake up. You got to stop doing what you're doing. You do. I hate to tell it to you, but y'all not winning. You're not winning. And then look, I watched this video the other day that someone sent me where the lady, oh, why don't men protect us? And why aren't they chivalrous anymore? And she just going off, right? And then, oh God, what's his name's wife? What is her name? Sarah. So she stitched it. She stitched the video. I got to find her name, y'all. One of my favorites. She's my spirit animal. But, she's like, well, didn't y'all say that y'all would rather have the bear than men? Didn't y'all tell men to leave you alone? Didn't you say that men were creeps? Didn't you say that you didn't want men approaching you? like, yeah, it just don't make sense. You're upset because men did exactly what you told them to. So she said, this is what the find out part of F around and find out looks like. Like, I was like, no lies told. This is what it looked like, ladies. So that F around and find out, this is what find out looked like. So now you know. Y'all didn't want nothing to do with them. You didn't care nothing about them. You know, they were horrible. You don't need them. And now you want protection and you want provision and you don't want to go 50-50 and all of this. Like, nah, you must atone for these sins. You're going to have to show some humility. And I want the men to show humility too and accept the apology. But 60, 70 years, that's what it looked like. 60, 70 years of this feminist dogma, this narrative, this we are being oppressed. But now, you want the protection, you want the provision, I'm confused. And like I said, it's hurt all of us. All of us are hurt. All women are hurt. So women like me that love the patriarchy. Like, can I just say, let me just blow my channel up. I love living under the patriarchy. Okay? I want that to continue. I want a strong father. I want a strong masculine husband to be the head of my household. There you go. I just said it. So even women like me, unfortunately, have suffered under this foolishness because a small amount of women have ruined it for all of us. So men just don't trust women, right? The fact that I'm female, they're like, I don't know, Anita could be one of these secret feminazi, I don't know what to think. And that's really sad because that is the farthest thing from the truth. But they have blown it up for all of us. That's it. That's it. So, I'm just saying, like I said, y'all done stop being a man's option. Override your feminine nature. Because I know I had to do it. Because I didn't understand it. I was like, why do I keep gravitating toward these dudes? I'm a curious person by nature. And when I find myself doing something over and over, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I really be thinking, why am I doing this? Because this is not getting good results. This is not taking me where I want to go. And when I started studying evolutionary psychology and female nature, I was like, oh, that explains so much. And even the stuff about, a woman on her cycle and the type of men she's attracted to versus not and all of that. I was like, okay, so now I have to make more conscious decisions. Right? Women are hornier 4 days leading up to their cycle. They're horny when they're ovulating. And again, that's not something that you can technically, I'm aware of it. And what I do is I just go, okay, I'm aware of why I'm feeling this way, but now I have to make a logical, rational decision about what I'm going to do. right? That's the difference. You got to be willing to do that. But yeah, y'all, I'm just like, man, y'all got to learn this stuff. And then you got to apply what you learn. Because women are going out sad. They going out real sad. And in 10 or 20 years, like, you're going to have more single, unmarried, unmothered women. Like, and a lot of y'all, oh, I don't care. Single women are happier. There is new clinical data. And you know what? Let me see if I can pull it up. There's new data about women's happiness tied to marriage and motherhood. I'm going to see if I can find the study. There is some new data. Clinical data suggests a link between marriage, motherhood, and women's happiness, with studies indicating married mothers report higher levels of happiness and lower loneliness compared to single childless women and even other groups of married women. A March 2025 study report by the Institute for Family Studies, controlling for income, age, and education, found married mothers are significantly more likely to be very happy and less likely to experience loneliness. These benefits are attributed to social connection, greater physical touch, and a heightened sense of meaning and purpose in life. Bam. And I know all of that to be true. Can we be honest today? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? I personally know single women who've never been married and they have no children. And if they have no pet, they have no dog or no cat, they have not been touched by another person in weeks. They have not experienced human touch. Okay? So not the touch of a human. And then for those women who do have a pet, okay, they've touched their pet, they've cuddled their pet, they've, rubbed on their pet, but that's it. That's all the oxytocin release they got is their pet. They don't have any hugs or kisses or cuddles by children, by their husband. And that has already been shown to cause all kind of mental health symptoms. Or even a friend. They don't even have a female friend to hug them or hold their hand. Like, this thing is serious. It's serious. But you know what? I could walk out this room right now and touch another human being right now. I could touch another human being right now. I got 3 of them in the house with me right now. I could go next door and go to my neighbor's house and give her a hug. I could go to this neighbor right here and give her a hug if I wanted. So, yeah, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. And again, I'm not just picking on women. There are men in this world that have gone even longer than the women. Because they're not going to get no hug from their male friend. They're not going to get no hug from their barber. So if they don't have any kids, if they're not married, if they're single and alone, they're not getting no hugs either. So, like I said, we all in trouble right now. We keep fighting about who's in trouble more. What does it matter? We are all out. The boat is capsized, okay? That's like people on the Titanic arguing with other people in the cold, frigid water. We all outside of the boat, okay? We all, the ship is going down. That's all you need to know. We're all in the water together, okay? And we keep arguing about who is doing worse. We're all doing bad. So please wake up. But yes, I have to give this one to the gentleman, that once I critically thought, once time went by, once I read some things and thought about those things over and over, I was like, I think they're right. And think about this. Let's go here. My ex-husband is on his 4th wife. Let's even make it about me. My ex-husband is on his 4th wife. And apparently the marriage is not going well. Like the marriage is not going well. The wife is unhappy. But think about that. How many men can say that they've been married 4 times? That they've had 4 women say yes to their proposal? Not many. He is in that 20% because of his income, because of his ability to, move like the man, because of his success, right? Because of his business success, because of his income. He is in that 20%. He does have options. But see, women, and that's why I was look, me and the third wife was talking yesterday. I said, yeah, she saw a string of ex-wives and she signed up to be the next one. Somewhere in her mind, she should have said, nope, nope, I'm not that good. If this man has 3 ex-wives, I will be the 4th. I'm just not that good. But what do women do? They see other women have been with this man. Forget the fact that we've all divorced him. Forget the fact that we've all taken our portion of the empire. Forget that. But the fact that, oh my gosh, he got 3 women to marry him. There must be something here. And she found out what that something is. Like I said, okay, you go on and do that. Because you're going to find out what that something is. It's not what you think. Because you're not taking into account the women all left. See, that's what you need to look at. And I told my daughter the same thing. I said, the fact that all these girls have a story to tell about this boy, why would you sign up to have a story too? Like, what sense does that make? They all have a story to tell, and the story is very similar, but you want to experience it too. You don't want to be left out. And that's how women are. That's a woman's nature. To not be left out of the foolishness. Well, I want some foolishness. I want to be a part of the nonsense. Well, why is everybody else getting to experience this foolishness but me? Y'all need to grow up. You got to grow up and you have to emotionally mature. You got to move past that. I don't want no parts of winning the dummy contest. The great big dummy contest. I don't want no parts of it. I lose, I always tell people I'm the biggest loser because this is some fracking bull. So that's it. That's what the video was about. I'm sure I stepped on some more toes and hurt some more feelings, but it has to be done. And as I told y'all before, God has ordained me to do it. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to take these hits out here. Sometimes the men be getting on me. And I just be like, sir, what are you doing? Jagger4321 says school districts should be hiring you at a high school level or even younger. So many unhappy relationships and pregnancies could be avoided. Yeah, if they would just listen. If they would just listen, if they would just apply. I speak in colleges now. I go to colleges now. I went to VCU, which is my alma mater. I've spoken at UVA. I've spoken at several colleges, and these even college age women are like, oh, I'm different. Oh, I'm the exception. Oh, okay. And then look, they come back and they're like, well, I wasn't different. I'm like, I know. You got to ask yourself, what's keeping you from listening and applying some of this wisdom? What is that? What's the block there? That you see this guy with all these options, but that pulls you to him instead of away from him. It is a part of a woman's nature, but they have to override it. They have to fight against it in a conscious way. Don't just let your subconscious programming take you down the same path over and over. That's all. Because like I said, thank God, my hand to God that I was 26 when I woke up. It was not too late. But it's sad to me that women are stuck in this perpetual arrested development. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to be responsible for a child or a husband. They don't want to submit. They don't want to, it's so weird to me. The greatest thing I've ever done with my life is be a wife and a mother. And I welcome that responsibility. I welcome it. I welcome being my husband's helpmeet. I just don't get it. I just don't get it that women have been sold this lie. That doing things for your household and your husband is oppressive. But going out to work 60 hours a week, paying all your bills, okay, and paying all the mortgage and paying, well, no, that's the American dream. That's where it's at. And taking your car to get the oil changed and to get serviced, and then you got to call the HVAC guy, and you got to get the grass cut. Oh, all that's freedom. All that is freedom, honey. That's you being able to do what you want to do. And let me tell y'all something about freedom. Then I got to leave it off here. This is one of the most dangerous things about freedom. Is when human beings are given a measure of freedom, we often make horrible decisions. And that's why I do promote that there has to be more rules. There has to be more things in place, because humans don't fare well when there are no rules. They don't fare well when they have ultimate freedom. They don't do well. They make stupid decisions. That's one of the reasons why I love being a Christian. Is God has laid out the plan for my life, and all I have to do is follow it. It ain't hard. He like, here you go. Do this. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't be with these people. Do more of this. Do less of that. Like, he has given me the book of life. He's told me how to live. He's told me what to do and what not to do. And he promised me that 80 to 90% of things will go well. Now, because I'm fallen, because I was born into sin, bad things are going to happen. I could be at the right place at the wrong time. That it just is what it is. We're born into sin. But a lot of people, y'all go through it. It's not the devil. It's not God hating you or the devil. It's your own bad decisions. It's your own negative decisions and negative consequences. That's what's really happening. And when you wake up to that and you give your life over, I am submitted to my Lord and Savior. I am doing what he told me to do. And the last few years have been the most peaceful years of my life. I've never had such joy. I've never had such peace in my life as I've had in these last years. And in these last years, I said, how can I follow this to the letter? How can I do exactly what he told me to do? And that's all he's ever wanted. All he's ever wanted was, Anita, if you just do what I tell you to do, I give you everything you say you want. And it's going to be a lot of stuff that you say you want. And when you get it, you're going to be like, I ain't want this. Like, I ain't even really want this. And he'll still give it to you. But you have to be submitted. You have to walk the talk. Okay? It's a whole lot of things you ain't got no business doing. A whole lot of places you don't have no business going. A whole lot of people you got to put out of your life because they ain't about anything. They leading you straight to hell. Oh, and you having fun. You having a good time the whole way there. Come on now, stop. But that's why I'm a submitted Christian. That's why I follow the Bible. That's why when God download into me to do something, I do it. Because he like, just do it. Like, you thinking I'm trying to hurt you. You thinking I'm trying to keep you from the fun. And I'm protecting your fool self. I'm here going to bless you for being submitted. I'm going to bless you for doing what I told you to do. But nah, y'all don't want that because freedom. Oh, and Christianity is a part of the patriarchy, and it's robbing us of our freedom. Freedom to catch sexually transmitted diseases. The freedom to have a bunch of unwed pregnancies. The freedom to have abortions. That's the freedom you're looking for. The freedom to have your heart broken and to be all these soul ties with people. Oh, that's the freedom. That's the freedom you after. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, and guess what? God is so good that he going to let you do that. God is so fair that he is not going to stop you. He going to give you your freedom, all right. He gonna give you your freedom to go straight to hell with what you doing. That's how fair he is. But if you listen and you submit to him and submit to his word, he can make your life amazing. And all you have to do is submit, is do the things he tell you to do and stop doing the things he tell you not to do. Y'all see all this stuff that famous people or rich people have, and you thinking God is giving it to them. The devil gives gifts too. The devil gives fame. The devil gives wealth. And a lot of those things is a weight. It ain't as great as these people make it out to be. Y'all love celebrities. Y'all love wealthy people and really think they be doing something. And if you knew what these people's lives was really like, if you saw behind the curtain, as many times as I've been connected to the industry and I've seen behind the curtain, that's why I tell people whenever I be around famous people or wealthy people and people like, man, Anita really ain't, she really ain't feeling this. No, because I know the real. I know what these people are really like. I know what their life is like. It doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me. If you really knew what these people are dealing with, there's nothing impressive or fun or great about it. It's just one big sick game. And then, you want to take a picture with so-and-so? Not really, like I said, because what I got to prove? I ain't got nothing to prove. All these people I know in the industry that I don't open my mouth about. I don't have nothing to prove to y'all. But if you really knew what their lives were really like, you wouldn't envy them. You wouldn't worship them. You wouldn't pedestalize them. So I'm going to forever hype up Jesus. I'm going to forever hype up my Lord and Savior, because that's the best thing out here running. That's the thing that's going to save you in the end. That's the thing that's going to keep you at peace and in your right mind. I'm forever going to hype that up. That's what you need to be on. You need to get some of that in your life and follow it to the letter. Follow it to the letter. Stop cherry picking the Bible. Stop trying to pick and choose what you going to do and what you ain't going to do. Just do what it tell you to do. And watch how good life can get. Watch. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to let y'all go because I got to go. I got a ton of paperwork. We have school tonight at 7:30 p.m. And I'm going to put this out there because we're going to do it again on September 22nd. I need more men to come into school because we're starting the section where we are doing mock speed dates. So for 5 minutes, I match a man, I match a woman together, and we're going to have them go on a mock speed date live on Zoom. They're going to have their cameras on. We're going to have our cameras and our mics muted. And I'm going to introduce them just like if we were at a dinner party. Hey, so-and-so meets so-and-so. Yeah, I thought, you all had some things in common, and I just wanted to introduce you to each other. And then I'm going to walk off, and you all are going to talk to each other and get to know each other. And we're just, going to listen. You're going to have 5 minutes to do that. Then you are going to tell the other person, how you think they did, where they could have done better, right? So you're going to tell me, this was really great, or this is something you could have done better. And we're going to have some constructive criticism about these dates and how we get to know people, the questions that we ask, how we answer questions. But we're going to be doing that tonight. And I really needed more men involved. So if you can find it in your heart to join us tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. I will send you that Zoom link. We're going to do it again on September 22nd. So I'm going to make another video where I just talk about, hey, I need guys to come in, help the ladies, help them practice, help them hone their skills, help them to be better women and wives for you all. That's part of what we do. I do have some men in school right now, and I've reached out to them to make sure they're going to be there tonight. But if you find it in your heart and you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. All right. If not for tonight, then maybe on September 22nd. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you for going live with me. I appreciate you all. I want to say thank you to all of the people who support the platform. Without you, there is no me, right? You all let me know that there is a market for this type of content. That's what you're letting me know, that there are people out there that are like, yes, I need to know this. I need to learn this. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you all. Remember, all of my videos, they live on YouTube. So when our lives are done here, you can go over to YouTube. That's where you can look at all of my videos and you can comment underneath it. Consider subscribing to my channel there and consider becoming a member of the channel. I will start making members only content tomorrow again, because it's been about a week since I've had a members only video. So I'll start making members only content just for members. And thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of the day. And as always, stay open to love.